My sister could never have written that.
Got proof she did.
No. I don't believe you. I don't believe it. Someone seeks to blacken her in my eyes. I won't allow it.
There, Anarietta. Don't get upset.
The letter is vile. It's slander. You must destroy it. Do you hear? No one else must ever read it. Ever!
Consider it done.
And you, out! Get out of here! This is all you're doing! Be gone, hear me! I never wish to see you again! I shall never believe she did this. She was not capable. This is an outrage, Dandelion. Tell him it's not true. Tell him it's a dirty lie.
Geralt, get out of here, please. The Duchess... she needs to be alone.
As to her enlightened highness, didn't go great. Got the full kaleidoscope of her emotional states. Spun through it at an impressive pace, too.
Am I to understand she didn't throw her arms about you and shower you with thanks for saving her from her murderous sister?
Got that right. I don't blame her, though. Luckily, Dandelion was there to smooth things over. Somewhat.
As you know, I had little sympathy for Syanna. Nonetheless, I very much regret I could not keep her safe. To you, her ultimate fate, does it still bring on the occasional pang of regret?
Yeah. Still.
Well then, drink up.
Syanna's dead. Dettlaff's gone too. Beauclair's free of the beast.
Whichever of them it was.
No, it's hard. A tender subject, but wanted to thank you for helping me with Dettlaff.
You need not.
Hate to pry, but why?
Did I decide to stand against him? I felt rage had consumed him completely. He'd crossed the line beyond which he could no longer control himself. He'd have remained the beast, irrational, unfit to reason with, incapable of experiencing any of the emotions which, for simplicity's sake, we shall call human. I do not wish such a life upon anyone, and especially not on a friend.
I understand.
Forgive me, but I doubt you truly do. And it's very difficult to explain. Let's say I felt the solution I chose to be better for all involved, and for Dettlaff himself most of all. How do you find my personal brew? Not too strong?
Just right.
Credit the local mandrake of the Alrauna diabolus variety for that. The tubers which grow in this area's volcanic soil have an altogether unique flavor profile, and display a remarkably uncommon dark brown tint.
Fascinating. All I can say is this batch turned out excellent.
Indeed. It might be wise to stockpile some roots for the future. Would you care to accompany me?
If you think it's a good idea, let's go. But I think you might be forgetting one thing. Fresh mandrake root of this variety is highly toxic, even to a witcher.
Ah, not a problem. I never forget matters of safety and hygiene in alchemy. Here, gloves and a mask. Don them, and you shall be in no danger.
Thanks. Right then, let's go.
This moonlight... makes me oh so dreamy.
Penny for your thoughts. Let me guess. Succubus twins?
If I were to add
Jimson in the last.
Now, where'd that bloodsucker go? Won't be easy to track down. He's a vampire, after all. Damn it, where'd you go? Regis! Damn it, where'd you go? Regis!
Raise your hand against the vampire! You shall die for that!
I did what I had to do!
You shall never forgive!
Come on! Those Bruxae, they called you a traitor.
Alas, we've a very simple code of honor, we vampires. So simple you might call it trivial. Either one is with us, unconditionally, regardless of the circumstances, or
Won't let it go, will they?
they will not. Fortunately, we've another rule, an unwritten one, and just as trivial as the first. It is neatly summarized in the saying, out of sight, out of mind. That is why I must leave Toussaint. For a vastly long time, most like.
Yeah, I get it.
Let us make for my camp. I've an overwhelming desire to have another drink. Supreme bouquet. Firm, defined beginning, then develops gently, rising to a startling finish. Don't you think?
Not much of a connoisseur.
Then it is high time you started your education. After all, the Corvo Bianco vineyard is now yours. By the way, I left a gift for you at your new home, on the nightstand.
Thanks. Mind telling me what it is?
A trifle. That will nonetheless be useful should you need mutagens. Incidentally, have you thought about what you'll do with your prize? Shall you hang your swords over the mantle and take to pruning vines?
No, just not the life for me. Sure, might stop by there occasionally, stay the winter, fill up on wine. But I'd rather keep moving. It's not a choice being a Witcher. And once you are one, you're one for life. You can't just step off the path. Besides, plenty of work left for me in the world. Ghouls aren't gonna kill themselves.
Rather droll, isn't it, that each time we meet, something harrowing must happen? I can remember a night, not too far from here if I'm not mistaken. We hid in a cave while a blizzard raged all about. Does that sound at all familiar?
How could it not? We just set off to rescue Ciri from Vilgefortz.
our encounter with Vilgefortz. That is something I do not remember so fondly. But that first stay in Beauclair, far calmer than this one.
Seemed like a land straight out of a fairy tale back then. Its sole problem, cellars too small to accommodate all that wine.
Appearances, Geralt. Appearances, like Mamoons and Dopplers, deceive. So what did become of Vilgefortz?
Killed him. Sure wasn't easy, though. I so don't feel like going anywhere. Sit here a while longer?
So we shall, my friend. We have witnessed, and in fact on several occasions incited, many great and weighty events. After all that toil, I believe we deserve a bit of a rest.
That we do. Actually, I'd love to go home.
The book of lust is hard and beaten. No one can grip the damn thing.
Welcome home, sir. I am Barnabas Basilfauti. By order of the Duchess, I shall serve you as Major Domo of Corvo Bianco. I previously served with distinction at the Nibli family manor and in Nazaire with Admiral Rompali, who, as you are certain to know, is an extraordinary demanding gentleman.
Whoa, Barnabas Basil. One thing you ought to know. I'm not your typical landed gentleman. Truth be told, this is the first real property I've ever owned.
Oh, in that case, you must leave it all to me. I shall organize, see to everything, and whip the house into order. I dare say this place will soon be the most prosperous vineyard around.
Great. Can already see I'm in good hands.
Prior to undertaking anything in that regard, sir, I feel I should inform you that someone has been awaiting your arrival.
Who might that be?
You must forgive me, I do not know. Alas, your guest failed to give a name. One last request before you go in to see them. Please, come and find me afterwards. I have yet to give you a tour of the estate.
Unexpected as ever. And beautiful as ever.
Won't you even ask why I've come? Or how I found you?
Wouldn't get a straight answer anyway.
Quite true.
Used to bother me, all your secrets. Now I know if you have something to tell me, you'll tell me. Don't need to ask.
I missed you, Geralt. Madly. Come outside. We can hold hands and stare at the sky, like some shitty two-crown romance.
Brought quite a few books. Let me guess. Working on a new spell?
Not at all. These aren't grimoires, just pleasure reading. The name of the orchid. A widower for half a year.
Always thought you too busy to make time for something as impractical as pleasure reading.
Because I was. But now I'm not. A few weeks ago, I awoke to the realization that I know not what to do next. I have no plan. I have no goal. And you know what? I like that. Finally, I can stop thinking about politics and focus on what's important to me. Which is why I came here.
You know, feels kinda strange having a home.
I must say I never pictured you owning real estate.
Was something of an accident, but I'm not about to complain. Yen, back then, before we fought the hunt, said you wanted to run away with me to the world's end. This vineyard, good enough?
Yes, although there's one thing missing.
Namely,
I shall give you a hint. It's large, white, has 4 legs, category taxidermy.
oh yeah, the unicorn. Fine, you can bring it down here.
I knew you'd see things my way.
Ever thought this day would come? Me and you, peace and quiet, bees buzzing, birds chirping.
I almost regret delaying so long before coming to you. I was quite the silly goose.
You have doubts? Though I imagine it might have been hard coming after me. Always were proud as a peacock.
Please, Geralt. I'm not like other sorceresses to feel that following someone means my wings have been clipped.
Ooh, watch what you say about your colleagues. Remember, it's an ill bird that fouls its own nest.
Well said, Witcher. You're not only handsome, but wise, too. I feel a bit like the cat that got the canary.
Yeah, and I'm... Damn it, you win. This time.
Ha!
How'd that start, anyway? Our duels and wordplay.
Forgotten. It was at a vernissage in Banard. You started it to keep from going mad with boredom. I remember finding your sense of humor both groan-worthy and somehow endearing. Never change, Geralt. I beg you.
So, talk again later?
Of course. I'm not going anywhere.
Terry in good health.
A man who dare not down some red is a man whose wives like to thump his head.
I forgot you. She's put to rest.
Honestly, it's a shame you killed the beast. Now we shall abandon all morality whatsoever.
You tallywhacked the beast?
That
Not
spriggan
bad.
that slaughtered the coot.
What the Blathers has got in your head?
Foul and why?
We would stomp till we were red and sweaty.
So, how do you like it here?
Wine is better than stew. For stew you have to chew.
Oh, sir!
What's it? Saying wine, and look like swaddling wine. Don't hurt me, please.
Women and chops, the more...
Bread adds a spring to your step. Wine adorns your head with thorns.
That's it, Roach.
All this is strong. You've spread some nastiness to me.
Slower.